Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? It's been a good while. I hope we're all well. It's been a long time since we were live, like on camera and stuff. We were live about 2 weeks ago when we were doing the cottage simulator. Um, yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we were live doing that, but we haven't been live like on an only stream. Just checking here. The 12th of August was the last time we were live. And what would you believe that's literally nearly a month ago, apart from the other one. Because literally Friday is the trout. Friday the trout, an unlucky day. Oh no, it's the 13th. Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. What am I taking up? I'm getting confused. um, I thought it was Friday the 13th this week. No, it isn't. So never mind. No superstitions yet of being massacred or anything. Um, so I didn't schedule this or anything. This stream. Usually we always live what the usual routine back 900 years ago was Wednesdays and what do you got Wednesdays and Saturdays. Um, so yeah. A lot of things have changed on YouTube too. The whole lot of this is changed. There must have been an update to YouTube because there's different things added, and I haven't got a clue how to how to do it. But we work it out. This top fan system is the on YouTube. I thought I would have got rid of that because there seems people complaining online about it. So I don't know whether they keep it or what's the story with that. Hello there, Shawnee. It's been a while. How are we doing? How are we keeping this Wednesday evening? I hope we're well. I probably should put on some music. That's the next thing. Where am I going to put it on? That's the next question. Not really set up. Hello, Tony. It's been a while. How are we doing? Hope all is well with you. You've been waiting the last few weeks for a stream. Give me a second. I'll just turn on this. Get it ready. What the hell is this? Let's see. Give me a moment. So, EP2. Oika. What is this? Sorry, give me a moment. So there's just up in here. Hope all's well. Yeah, it's been a last week. A lot going on, but hopefully we can go back to routine because it's just kind of been. It's just one thing after another. Not like I was getting shocked, but there was just a lot of stuff going on. Evito. 1 second, just when I look at this. I have to look into this later on. Open the blinds. It was actually not that sunny, Tony. Like today was not a great day in terms of the weather because it was just constant rain and pretty much it'd rain and then it'd be sunny for a few minutes and then it'd rain and then it'd be sunny for a few minutes and then it'd be rain and then it'd be sunny for a few minutes and then it keeps going. Just basically the cycle repeats. Having me ting ready, I need a haircut. Yeah, that is true. See, I was supposed to get a haircut last week, but what happened was the person I usually go to get my hair done, I had it booked and everything, but she was sick. So that was the only reason why. So I have to see but we arranging the appointment because she was sick. Now she's back at work, but she was sick last week. I was trying to get her done last Thursday, but she was sick. She had the flu. And that was the only reason why. Only for that I would have got a cut because it is very long. I'm not too happy. It's all right to have long hair in the winter time, but it is a bit too long, if that makes any sense. So hopefully, I probably will ring her tomorrow, and hopefully she's back at she is back at work, but hopefully she has space for me at some point this week. Or even early next week would be fine. I could get a ponytail. That could be the next solution. But only for that. Only for she cancel it. I would have had it done. What were you saying, Shawnee? Sorry. I'm surprised. Conor McGregor was actually in Cavan yesterday along with Monaghan. Now, I didn't know about this until it happened. Just to say. Like, he didn't really announce that he was coming. But I wouldn't have went to see him anyway. Let's put it that way. And I wouldn't want to kind of meet him. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So no fun with you, Tony, because you've been waiting desperately for these streams. So we have an insane amount of stuff to talk about, just to say. But only touch on a few things. We'll not go into literally the last 700 years of things happening, because basically far too much has happened over the last few weeks. It's madness. Like the world's gone mad. Well, we all know that, but quite literally it has. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's just a bit of a blabbermouth, in my opinion. That's my first off opinion. Hello, Gordon. Yeah, we have to talk about Israel too. Isn't it great? The banging the war drums. I don't know about that one now, to be totally honest, but we see what happens. It's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens. But I hate to tell him, but it's not going to. When's the election? 24th of October, which is pretty much a month and a bit away. So, and pretty much at the moment, there's only 3 candidates, which sounds stupid, but it is the truth at the moment. There might be more. We see what happens with Sinn Féin. But yeah. But I don't know. It's hard to know. Yeah, like it quite literally does. Like I'm sure you've seen what happened in Qatar. Like the wet and bombed Qatar, and at the same time too, there's negotiations going on in Qatar, in a neutral country, to try to bring an end to the conflict in Palestine and Israel. To try and find a ceasefire, like with Hamas and with Israel, and Israel just went and bombed it. In Qatar, because that was where the peace they were trying to negotiate a peace, like a ceasefire. That makes any sense. And it was a neutral ground. But just shows you how much respect Israel has for having a peace settlement. Because they literally just bombed it, and they bombed it like literally they bombed another country too. Like Israel has habits at the moment of just bombing other people's countries. They just at this stage they can bomb any country and just claim if you say anything against it's anti-Semitism. Like they come over here and just bomb Dublin if they wanted to, and they claim that we're being anti-Semitism if we object to it. Of course, God will punish them, but the United States probably should punish them too for this kind of carry on, because they're just kind of going around like they've bombed Iran, they've bombed Iraq, they've bombed Syria, they've bombed Lebanon, they've bombed Yemen too, and then like they've bombed literally every country at this stage around them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like literally, they could go up, come here in the morning, right? And bomb Dublin, they'd be like, "Well, we're defending ourselves," and then they claim anti-Semitism if you say anything against them, which is insane, like literally insane, like going around just bombing other countries, especially because they're trying to, in Qatar, what they were doing was a peace, like they were trying to find a ceasefire, they're trying to get everybody around the table to negotiate a ceasefire, like to the conflict, to stop it being killed. And they just basically bombed it. It shows you how much respect that Israel has to try and stop it. You think Israel would want to stop everybody being killed, because this like regardless if it's Hamas or whatever, it doesn't give you the right to go around bombing other people's countries in another country. Whatever about you shouldn't be going around bombing other people's countries in other people's countries. Like even if they're in other people's countries, it doesn't give you the right to go around bombing people. It doesn't, especially not in your own country. It's in somebody else's country. Hello, Brian. How are we doing? I hope we're well. Sorry, I was too busy yapping. I seen your comment. I was just too busy yapping. But hope we're well. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been about 3 or 4 weeks anyway since I was last live. So I'm just looking at this. So Russia's very upset at the moment. They're kind of coping and seething a bit. So this is the deputy chairman of the Russian Security Council. So basically, he's beating the war drums, which has been the thing from the Russian side for the last week or so. They've been beating the drums over Finland all of a sudden. But the curiosity, they don't mention, last time we went into Finland, it didn't go well. They say about the Mannerheim line and stuff, which was the Finnish Mannerheim line, obviously Carl Gustav Mannerheim, being a former president of Finland, etc., and a field marshal, etc., the leader of the Finnish, with the war and the continuation war. But yeah, this is very threatening a bit, unlike 1944, which is referencing the continuation war, when Finland and the Soviet Union at the time signed basically a peace settlement, a ceasefire, I suppose, in a way too. Yeah, very, very threatening language, to be totally honest. It is very, very threatening. Because they're basically saying we're coming to take your independence. Like, that's the nicest way of saying it. Like, basically, that's what they're alluding to here. We're coming to take your independence. So, yeah, it's very nice stuff to be saying on the official Russian, and especially because Putin's all like, oh, we want peace and stuff. And we want a ceasefire. We want this, we want that. And this is the official Russia account going around, threatening. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to work that way because Finland is in NATO. And not to mention, Finland has a very big army. And they've kind of been preparing for this for the last 80 years. So last time that happened in Finland, when Russia decided to go into Finland, there were 1 million men short, let's put it that way. So I don't think it's going to go too well for them. So I don't think they would do anything. They just kind of sound the drums. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, probably best. But particularly Finland, not so much about the Baltics. It's a very open arms in the moment about Finland for some reason. Like, they're all jumping up and down. Like, they even go, and I see some Russian, people, literally even going as far as saying that Seymour Hare, the famous Finnish sniper, never existed. It was all just propaganda. And, you're like to yourself, excuse me? Like, literally everybody, like even the Russians, even the Soviet Union at the time, admitted that Seymour Hare was a person and he was killing 500 Soviet troops. And he terrified the fuck out of them. Let's put that, even fight the whole Soviet Union. Every officer in the Soviet Union. And then they're claiming, oh, it didn't exist. It's all Finnish propaganda, etc., etc. Which is like, you're insane. Like, let's put it that way. Because there's hundreds of bits of evidence to suggest that he actually was a real person. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, the Russians said, yeah, but all the banging the drums from Russia at the moment, they never seem to mention, last time we went into Finland, that didn't go well. They never seem to mention that. They always seem to leave that out. Which is a bit stupid. So we all know what happened in Poland too. But I don't know if you've seen what the Russian leadership was saying. Just speaking with Sandra and stuff like that, like they literally it's not busting like for the co-Finnish government because none of this existed when Sanna Marin was about. Um, but like all of a sudden, like pretty much they're not wrong in what they're saying in terms of the leadership of Finland at the moment. Not the best. That's what I can agree with the Russians on that. Uh, I show you what I'm talking about just to make a point here. Because if Sanna Marin was about, I don't think they'd be going around threatening Finland. It's just because they have an incompetent people in charge. Like they literally have very incompetent people in charge of Finland at the moment. Poland, yeah, we'll get to Poland in a second. Yeah, so I put this up last night. So this is a Russian general, pretty much, in the Kremlin, one of the high Russian generals in the Kremlin. Finland has become a hotbed of fascism faster than Ukraine. Like, you know, like they're right about the Finnish government, but not so much with the Finnish people. It's the Finnish government the Finnish government our problem. The current Finnish government, nobody's denying that one. So what do you make of that one? But as I said, the true Finns have caused this because not a word was ever said when Sanna Marin was prime minister. Like they take like the mayor of St. Petersburg in Russia basically said the whole Finnish government are pile of Nazis. At the like when the new government was elected and stuff like that. So the current Finnish government have kind of shot themselves in the foot. But it's open. Oh, what was her name? Sorry, I missed that entirely because I was too busy yapping, Tony. But yeah, no, in Poland, I'm sure you know, Russia fired missiles. Well, not missiles, drones, kind of. Now, I don't know did they malfunction. They could have malfunctioned and just happened to go into Poland. But they were shot down by the Dutch. Aaron is her name. Yeah, well, I hope she's doing well. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. And I hope Tony's treating you well. I hope he's buying you a lot of snacks and stuff. Crisps and stuff, I hope. But what was it saying? Poland. They're saying about Article 5, like Poland's in NATO, of course, too. They're saying that they could trigger out Article 5, which is basically an attack on one as an attack on all, which is, um, just speaking about, too, just abroad for a second, the European Parliament. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Union, was speaking today in the Parliament, in the European Parliament. Um, yeah, the Dutch shot them down. Yeah, with fighter jets, they shot them down with fighter jets. Like the scrambled fighter jets and stuff. Because obviously, NATO, they could have fighter jets. Like there could be There's British fighter jets in Romania and stuff like that. With NATO, the fighter jets belong to each country everywhere. But yeah, but that's what I'm going by at the moment. That's what was said. So it could not be. Maybe it was Polish, but it seems to be Dutch. What the majority of people are suggesting, it seems to be Dutch. London, geez, we have a far distance to go if we're going to go to London. I don't think it's an Irish person's business to be going to London to march in any protest. I don't think it's our business in London. But yeah, I wish the best, of course. Not only that, too, I wouldn't want to go to England at the moment because you could be arrested for tort crime. Oh yeah, but they wouldn't really care about our voices because we're Irish people, but it's more British people. Oh yeah, I heard about that, Brian. Yeah, I heard about it. I don't think I will be going. I don't have much interest in supercars. They're cool to see, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I will be going to that. Um, where we spoken to Christmas for thought crime. I've said many times that a man can never become a woman, etc., etc. We can't, in Britain, that's far right extremism. Um, and saying that maybe we shouldn't be giving asylum seekers a free house and stuff like that. Far right extremism, and just even questioning a few things in Britain can get you arrested nowadays. Like the fellow who produced Father Ted, I'm sure every Irish person knows about this. He has an issue as a trans woman, um, in England, and he basically committed thought crime in England, and he was arrested by 5 armed British police officers because he committed thought crime. Well, I say so. We'd be fine probably for it. But yeah. Thought crime. I want you in the U.S. Army. You went to West, got a salary. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool, Tony. Tau crime, yeah, tau crime too. That's a dangerous crime. I'm talking about tau. It can get you arrested. What is this? So, just seeing this now. Um, so apparently on God the Shin Nakano, and the Irish state has spent €500,000 on an armored truck, basically, to fight terrorism and all that. Great stuff. So, yeah, it could be handy with subtitles. It would be a bit handy for some people, I say. What is this? Sorry, I'm just reading this. Look like a triangle. It kind of does a bit, but yeah, it's from the heat. When I'm walking, uh, you have a lot of sweat and stuff, and that's how my exposed spots get drawn because it's the heat. It's just the heat when you're walking, and particularly when you have long hair, it can get very hot. In terms of in terms of your head and stuff, because when you're walking and stuff, it can be very warm. Excuse me, and stuffy. We should bring back the colour and streams. I actually forgot about the music. Sorry, I was yapping about things and I forgot all about it. We won't stay for too long tonight. I should have probably put it up, but many people won't even know what it is. So going on to the presidency, we have to talk about the presidency. So as we know, it's the 24th of October. Now you'd be sick of listening to me coming into October when I talk about the presidency, because there's a lot to say, and I have a lot to say about it. But we see how it goes, But basically, at the moment, there's only 3 candidates confirmed. That might change. We don't know what Sinn Féin's going to do. Not likely any independents are going to get on the ballot. Not likely. Very small chance. Consider what Fine Gael has said, not to all councillors not to back any independent candidates. Fianna Fáil has said, you can. I think they've said you can if you want, and Sinn Féin has kind of said maybe. So it's an uphill battle for a lot of independents, Conor McGregor and other independents, because they simply won't get it. As simple as that. They won't get the nomination from any council. Take what's happened Mayo, the one that Intu's backing, Maria Stevenson. She tried to get the back of Mayo County Council, and only 5 councillors, I think, out of 20, were willing to back her. It's a whole rigmarole with the presidency. It's not a simple matter. They can't just turn up and say, "Oh, I want to become the president." But no, just seeing an article here from the local media in Cavan here at the moment at the Angle South. When Conor McGregor, what was the point in Conor McGregor coming here? When I heard about it, first of all, I knew he was in Monaghan, didn't know he was in Cavan until this morning. But first of all, he came to Cavan and he didn't even bother to go to the councillors to seek a nomination. So what was the point in coming here in the first place? What was the point in going to Monaghan? Maybe he did in Monaghan. But Cavan County Council has not received any notification, it seems to be. So I'm just waiting through this myself. Yeah, I was taking that. Because I didn't hear anything today about that there was an official letter sent to the council to get the backing of councillors, so to meet the councillors to try and get onto the ballot. So I don't know why he came here in the first place. I don't think he understands at all what the presidency and what he needs to do. I don't think he gets it. But there's no hope of him winning that now. Now, so I said about Fianna Fáil's candidate for the presidency. It's a former GEA manager, Jim Gavin. He seems to be somebody that doesn't have an opinion of his own. He just kind of goes to whatever I'm out and tells him to do. That's what it seems to be, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but He doesn't seem like a person that Yeah, it is. But in some areas it's drinkable, in some areas it isn't. It's not really recommended to drink tap water here, but a lot of people still do because they put loads of chemicals into the water, and not to mention in some places it's literally so dirty you can't even see clear into the thing. Uh, it's atrocious. The Irish situation and done with that. See, the water does to pay for water a few years ago, and that didn't go well. Um, so that's what I think they're trying to do, bring back. Will they get away with it? Probably not. Um, Hi, Scott. So Leo Franco, a former Taoiseach, is releasing a book. Now, no one's going to read it, let's be fair. But he's basically talking a lot of shit about everything. So it'll be interesting to see, because basically he's coping about a lot of stuff too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Leo the Link, yeah, he literally calls himself Leo the Link in the book too. Also, it's not busting in Nepal, so if anybody's planning to go to Nepal, I hate to break it to you, but you wouldn't want to go to Nepal at the moment. It's not going well. Yeah, Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, was signed in the UK over taxes to do with the house. Literally fucking good. But anyway, I think we might leave it there for tonight. I know it's a short stream, but I didn't really advertise that it was going to be live tonight. I was just pretty much saying hello. We didn't talk about too much main stuff, but obviously coming into the election next year, not next year, this year, of course, you're going to be sick of me. Like, you really will be sick of me for the next few months when the election comes near, because quite literally I'll be on it all the time about different things. So yeah, that's it. Oh, it's over the social media ban. So basically, the government wanted to ban social media. The youth kind of got fucking very wild up and burned the parliament and killed a few politicians and set a lot of politicians' houses on fire. Yeah, they set the parliament on fire. They set politicians, the big politicians in the street. They stripped the finance minister and made him kick them down the river. All sorts of stuff. But yeah. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you, everyone. We'll hopefully be back maybe Saturday. We see, touch wood, how we go. But anyway, for the moment, everyone, thank you. And enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And hopefully we'll be back on schedule. Hopefully starting this week or next week. We'll be back on schedule 2 streams a week. Hopefully, touch wood. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your night, and goodbye.